We have a large number of Africans who are educated and who are taking part in the political struggles of the African people. The question of education has nothing to do with the question of the vote. On numerous occasions, it has been proved in history that people can enjoy the vote even if they have no education. Of course, we desire education, and we think it's a good thing. But you don't have to have education in order to know that you want certain fundamental rights, you have got aspirations, you have got claims. It has nothing to do with education whatsoever.
The IOW Network.
Like we always do about this stuff.
Yeah, I don't love you.
Hey, let's go. Hey. What's going on, world? It's your girl, Black Bubba.
My fault. Do your thing.
It's your girl, Black Bubba Walters.
Chill. Welcome on in the building.
And of course,
it's that nigga.
First of all, you threw us off number one.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that though.
Season 2, y'all hear the changes. We told y'all we're coming back bigger and better every episode.
Bigger and better.
That made my eyes water. I cannot.
Becoming more gorilla in this bitch. More gorilla in this bitch. King of the jungle.
The fact that all three of us did that sound make no damn sense. All right, before we get started, y'all already know tomfoolery has already took place.
It's about to get
Listen, let's take care of some housekeeping stuff first. Make sure you guys go over to the website, www.ioftenwonder.com. You'll find all the important information to every social media. Make sure you guys are checking out for the IOW Sports is on there as well. You scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the Patreon page where you can get all of the merch. Of course, you know Lamar got the merch on as always, and it's on the table as always as well. As well as we're in season 2.
Dos.
Y'all know we've been working hard. Thank you
for the money.
Hey.
So
hard for the money.
You know, don't take much. Same tomfoolery, just a different season. Thank you guys for everybody that's been rocking with us.
New year.
We are in February, and we took a challenge at the end of season 1, and we said, what can we do to make season 2 more interesting and even bigger and better than before?
They voted down the strippers.
I didn't vote down the strippers. Man, I love them strippers. Yeah, I love them strippers.
I ain't going to say I voted down for them. I didn't know they were on the table.
Well, that's where they belong.
That's where they belong. On the pole. On my lap.
Oh, God. Here we go. Anywho,
too far,
so the vote came back, and we are taking over the month of February for Black History, Black Excellence, Black Power, Black Beauty, everything that's bliggity black, baby. Y'all already know.
Black. Yeah, we black. Black rims and the black things.
Listen.
And the black things.
Y'all already know when y'all hear that sound, we are taking over the month of February. 28 days of Black History and Black Excellence.
All that.
Listen, we've so far have had some amazing shows. If you have missed the ones that have already been up, make sure you go back.
Yeah, we 4 days in. You better get to it.
Yeah, listen, man. It's reminding me so much of why I love doing what we do. It does. And today is no different. We got some kinfolk that's coming to sit down and talk with us.
Kinfolk.
He is an author. He is a blogger. He is so many things when you think of him.
Hey, but one thing I want to add, this guy's an inspiration.
Yes.
I got to throw it in there because his content that he's doing is not about the glitz and the glamour. It's about the realness.
And I think that's what the world needs. So, without further ado, let us introduce to some.
Kinfolk.
Reintroduce to others.
Yeah, yo.
Mr. Caleb Harris.
J.O.
Author of Suffering in Silence. What's up, Caleb?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, my brother? How
Black
you doing
people time
today?
over there. You didn't have your applause ready?
Amen.
Amen. Twice and it kind of went off.
Nick. Oh my goodness.
As you see, Caleb, nothing has changed. He still screws up with the applause.
Yeah, he was supposed to have an applause. Yeah. He CP time on that shit.
CP, I don't know.
Just let it go, bro.
Yeah, because you come in. Yeah, he come in with it after the fact. It's okay. Anyway, thank you for coming on the show. We are going to definitely dig into some of your business, some of the things that you have accomplished, and I'm looking forward to it. But first, I've got to ask the question that I've asked every guest.
All right.
What does Black History mean to Caleb?
Man, Black History means just so many things, but I just believe that in general, just about celebrating the history of Black men and Black women, like people like Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, just so many people just celebrating our greatness, not just for 28 days. Nah, we can't be doing that. Right. We got to celebrate our greatness every single day.
I like that.
That's good. I don't like that because this is just a prelude. This is just a prelude, you guys, because 28 days, we celebrate all year long. But we just wanted to highlight some great Black folks in the month of February for this 28 days. So let's get right into it. You are an author of a book called Suffering in Silence. Tell us about that book. Tell us about the concept. What pushed you to write this book?
All right, so the concept is really revolved around mental health, but especially mental health around Black men. Because I've seen, even when I was a kid, I struggled with my own mental health. I struggled with like anxiety and depression. I would always look around, and I'd be on the basketball court playing with my buddies. We could talk about girls, or we could talk about weed and like drinking and all these crazy outlandish things that like teenagers be talking about. But then when it comes about talking about mental health, and everybody gets a little bit silent. So I always thought that was pretty weird. But it was one of those things where I just said, well, maybe I'll just ignore it, put it on the back burner. But I've always noticed about myself, whenever I see something, I got to say something. Like, I just got to, stand up for what I believe in, even if I'm standing alone. So I remember I wrote this character in name of Ricky Johnson, the substitute teacher. And he's going through a lot in life, smoking, drinking because his mother passed away, and because that's what he knows. He knows that as the norm. The norm is you smoke, you drink, you mess around with this girl, mess around with that girl, you gamble your life away instead of just sitting there looking in the mirror. So Ricky Johnson has that choice to make. He could just sit there and, actually talk to his father, recover from his mother's death, and actually change his life, or just continue to suffer in silence himself.
That's some heavy stuff right there.
You hit on so many different topics in this one book, and the thing about it is you're focusing on a group of people that, like you said, men that do not talk, that do not know that it's okay to be mentally healthy. Like that's important. To the backbone. You had a question that you wanted to ask.
No. I'm letting you take control of this.
Look, y'all let me be Black Barbara Walters some days.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it.
Some days. Shut up, Jamil. I heard the Anyway, so let's dig a little bit into you, and then we're gonna come back to the book. Let them know where you're from. What things do Caleb like to do outside of becoming an author?
Man, I'm trying to think of the things I do outside of being an author with the blog and the writing, because I'm boring as you know what. I like to play basketball. Right now it's like pretty cold. I get up in the morning, I'll lift the weights. That's what I do, and I just hang out with my buddies. I try to just enjoy life, and I'm from Enfield, Connecticut, so there's not much else to do around here, but I try to make the best as I can because it's a small town, so you know how it is with small towns. Yeah. Some people want to talk to you. Some people don't want to talk to you. Some people want to use you. Some people always want to say, oh, well, we can hang out, and then they cancel on you. But, like, the introvert in me is like, yes, they canceled on me, so I could just, chill out, watch Boondocks or something,
I like Boondocks.
Hey, I ain't mad at Boondocks. That's a classic.
That's a show.
Boondocks is one of my favorites. I can't get mad at that. So you said something that was very key that kind of brings the book back into it. You said how much of an introvert you are, but you're a little bit of an extrovert as well when you make plans. How much of that part of your lifestyle did it affect some of the things that you went through that you talk about in the book, even though it's a different character? You've already said some of the stuff that you had to go through and experience yourself. How much did being an introvert actually play into that?
Well, like the introverted side of me always said, like, like just to be quiet, don't really say nothing, like just, try to like blend in with everybody. And it's funny, like I'm like introverted and extroverted at the same time. So as I got older, I was like, well, I got to say something, but like I don't know how to say it. So I would sometimes, I'm not going to lie, there were just times I would just blurt it out right in front of everybody. And then some of my boys would be like, yo, you wasn't supposed to say that. And I was like, man, I had to say it because the introverted side of me kept too quiet for too long. And it was like going on for 2 weeks and 2 months and like almost 2 years. I was like, oh, no, I got to say something now because now my chest is hurting. And now it's like, I got to say something. So that's what I got to do.
That's good.
I feel the same way. Sometimes you just got to get shit off your chest.
Right. That's true.
Because I am not good. Little ass nigga. Now you want to be on time with the cues and stuff.
Say with your chest.
If you didn't recognize that sound is from the ILW Sports show. Make sure you tune into that shameless plug. On Mondays and Thursdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on the ILW Network. Back to you, Caleb. Since we're talking about plugs, let's go ahead and get that out the way. Go ahead and plug yourself. Let them know where they can find your material. And then we're going to dig into some of these places they can find your material.
So, like, the main site will be, like, my Linktree. So that's on Linktree at CHARR8. Find me on Facebook at Caleb Harris. You can find me on Instagram at Caleb Hates Cake. Yes, I do hate cake. If you try to give it to me on my birthday, February 12th, then you just gonna have to eat it yourself. I don't spoil that. So also, I'm vegan as well, so I got my page Beats by K. Also on Facebook and IG, it's the same thing. So I'm posting recipes, I'm posting about food, I'm posting about eating healthy, posting about a whole movement, and yeah, that's just basically all I got for now. Oh yeah, also the blog. I almost forgot about it.
I was about to say,
Unpopular Opinions blog. Yeah.
You missed something very important.
Long day.
No, I mean, we was kind of talking about it before we got on air about your Unpopular Opinion blog. Man, what I love about it is you normally will take the unpopular opinion route, but what I love about it is you stand 10 toes down on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think in this day and age, there's not a lot of people that look like us that get a chance to just say what they gonna say and they don't give a damn about the repercussions about it. That's what I love about it. So, man, hey, big ups for doing that blog because, but, people who aren't mentally mature to understand what you're saying, they're going to miss the whole point of anything that you say.
Right.
So,
all the time.
Yeah, so break it down. What actually made you start that Unpopular Opinion?
Yes.
I think I started, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. I'm kind of like bad with dates, but I want to say it was like either 2 to 3 years ago, something like that. And I was just like, I'm going to just start talking about exactly how I feel. And if people like it, they like it. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. If this page grow, it grow. And if it don't grow, then it don't grow. But I always looked at it from this perspective. You got to just go on here and tell the truth because I always see so many people are just weird these days. It's like they have an opinion. They'll go around here and they'll say, oh, I don't be going around here chasing no hoes. But then when they go around here hanging out, a whole bunch of boys are talking about, yeah, I was with this girl, that girl, that girl, that girl. And I was like, why is you lying, bro? Why is you lying, man? Like, if you the Christian boy, just be the Christian boy and just own up to it. Right. It's cool. Like, come on, man. And I just see so many people always just, with all this status, all these fake models, like these women go around here with the fake butts and the fake tits and it. I'm just like, well, what is all this stuff, man? Why is everything just so plastic? Why can't things just be real?
Natural.
Like natural. You don't look like that, sweetheart. Calm all that down.
That part.
Got 5 filters. Like, if you got this, you got this. Yeah. Because you be eating unhealthy.
Everybody got them. It's okay. Everybody got them. Because these filters going to get somebody messed up. The milk carton picture ain't going to work no more.
I know that's right.
Cannot get it. Now, since we're talking about the Unpopular Opinions blog, how do you come up with the topics? Because you've got topics like your issues are your issues. You've got topics like money is not the how to solve the problem. or heal your pain. Excuse me, money doesn't heal your pain. How do you come up with these issues every week?
I honestly just scroll on like social media, and I could just find like so many things I see people talking about. I'll just research things on Google. I read a lot, so I just want to talk about those things as well. And I'm always just talking about like self-improvement, self-development, and just, you know, taking life one day at a time as well. So that's where most of my material really comes from. And also reading the Bible. That does help.
Yeah, that helps a
Yeah.
lot.
Gives you a lot of material.
So I actually want to dig into one of the topics that you talked about that I thought was quite interesting. And it kind of ties into your book. And as a man, I love to get men's opinions. So I've got 3 of y'all, so I'm going to pick y'all brain.
As a man, like you're a man?
No, it's y'all being men.
Okay, I'm trying to get clear.
There is nothing about
I'm
me
just trying
like
to get
a
clear.
man.
Your voice getting kind of deep there. I don't know.
It can.
You know what I'm saying?
It can go.
Shut your ass up.
I get that from my mama because she can sing
not you.
tenor.
I'm telling that.
I know what you're telling him, but I'm saying
that.
that my mama can sing tenor, so I can
Alexis,
bring.
What you want, nigga?
I can bring the.
What you want from my nigga? Somebody let me know.
I can bring the bass out. Don't trip.
Hey, y'all leave.
Really want?
Leave my sister alone.
Thank you,
my
so
girl.
kindly.
That's my
Do your
girl.
thing.
Thank you, so kindly. Now, one of the topics I wanted to get into, though, Caleb, is you did
Barry White.
one that's shut up. You did one that's called "He Ain't a Baby Anymore." And for those that have not gone to read it, please go read it. I love the picture that's on the front of it.
Yeah.
Boys to the
Voice of the Hood, one of the biggest scenes.
That's when he was going by Larry, not Lawrence.
In the first line of your blog, you say, and I do quote because I'm gonna read it verbatim. We need to stop referring to our young men as boys or babies. Men will often turn to their adult son and say, "That's my boy." On the other hand, women will say, "That's my baby." You then go to say, both terms are very toxic. Why do you feel that those terms are toxic, and why do you feel it's very important for us, especially as women? Because I do it to my brother. He's about to be 18. That's my baby. You know, why do you think it's very important for us to identify them as men and not as boys or as our babies?
Well, I just look at it as like young men, like when you reach that age of like 16 or like 18, like you're not really going to be considered by the states as a baby. You know, like you're going to be considered to be a full grown adult, and like you need to be prepared to be an adult. Like I remember I was at work today and I was like looking at this one dude, he like 23 years old. He don't do laundry, he don't cook, he don't know how to fix his car. And I'm like, this brother is just useless. So all they want to do is call him a little baby. And, you know, that's what happens because they never got him to actually do these things. So now he just acts like a baby, and now he going to want his woman to be babying him. And then he's going to be like, damn, man, all these hoes ain't nothing. I'm like, bro, you ain't nothing. You the problem. Like, you know, I get like there's some women out here who can't be toxic, but that's not all women, though. But when you have that mentality of always being treated like a baby, you have that baby mindset where you think, oh, everyone is out to get me. Well, it's like, no. The only person who's against you is literally you.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the main reasons why I wrote the blog.
No, that's dope,
I
man.
like that, man.
Now, 'cause that you touch on pretty much, I think, a problem that we have with just men in general, and not just black men. I'm saying men in general.
Right.
Is taking accountability. And you touch on that on a lot of your blogs. Is, you know, stop trying to make excuses for things that are happening in your life.
Right.
And so, I mean, bro, hey, keep up the work, man. Talk to these motherfuckers, man. Talk to these people, man. I mean, honestly, you coming at it so straight and direct is like there's no gray area.
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoat. It's like, yo, this is what it is, and this is the problem. Address it.
Yeah.
You know, so
you got to do something.
yeah, you got to.
All right, so that go ahead, Jamil.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know, I wanted to go back to your suffering silence, because I think one of the things that I thought was key that you kind of addressed in the book is talking about how the character had bottled up emotions, and you know, and didn't discuss the things that he was dealing with. And then by doing that, you know, it became normal behavior. Then when that person have children, they pass that down to their children. So speak to the importance of releasing bottled up emotions from a man's standpoint. And why do you think men hold in their emotions?
I think it's just because they never just been taught to. Like, no one has ever just showed them, like, hey, it's okay to express your feelings. So it ends up being, like, as I was saying a little bit earlier, like, you know, the smoking, the drinking, because you're looking to get rid of the pain instead of actually express the pain.
Right.
That's why I've seen with a lot of, like, just men and just black men, but more especially with black men. It definitely is universal, but I've seen that with a lot of us as black men. It basically goes down to a cycle. It's a
Right.
cycle of just the same thing over and over and over again, and nobody's, you know, looking in the mirror and just saying, well, somebody's got to stop this. But, you know, it starts with somebody. I remember my father was like that a lot. Like, he just, still to this day, he always yelling and screaming at somebody. I'm like, boy, what you doing all that for?
Right.
Why over here trying to get at me? Man, I ain't do nothing. I was just like, this grown-ass man here at it again. Like, I mean, I love my dad at all, but it's just like, I've always seen that he always suffered with this same cycle because his grandfather was the same way. His mother and his mother and him would just go at it all the time. I'm a 12-year-old kid just sitting here. I'm like, Lord help me, because I am so tired of dealing with all this.
Right.
That's a lot, man.
It is, and I think that's what people in our black community we hold men to such a high standard of what they're supposed to be, but we don't teach them the way to be.
Right.
So, but we're gonna put a pin right there. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more with Caleb. Y'all stay tuned.
For an engaging podcast, come to RBOP, Riddick's Book of Philosophy. My name's Philip Riddick. In my podcast, we have engaging and adult conversations, and we also have very interesting guests. Once again, if you want a very interesting podcast that is forward-thinking and mature, come to RBOP, RBOP. This podcast can be found anywhere podcasts are distributed, as well as YouTube and Facebook.
And we are back.
We back.
I know y'all heard the commercial. Y'all make sure y'all go check out our brother station, our channel, not station, Mr. Arbop with Philip Riddick, and his secondary station, Daddy Cooks. Shout out to him. But we are back doing 28 days of black excellence, black power, black history. Everything that's black, baby.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black
is
to
not
black
the
to black,
original
black,
sound.
y'all. Nah, that's a remix.
Nigga, did you just do CP4, nigga?
Yeah.
CP4, I mean.
I don't know what he
This
did.
nigga broke
Black
out
to black to black,
CP4.
black, y'all.
There you go.
Yeah,
But I want to
yeah. Just go ahead into your
tie
question.
back into what we was talking about, because I thought that it was interesting how you even bridge that behavior into drug addiction, alcoholism, and sexual deviance.
Right.
I like how you kind of tie those things together, because amongst men, you know, I don't think we consciously recognize some of the behavior that we do is actually bleeding over to other behavior. You know what I'm saying? So like, by holding in our emotions and not actually releasing those emotions, we find outlets through alcohol. We find outlets through drug addiction. We find outlets through sexual deviant behavior. You know, we find outlets through those things because of our how we're taught as men to handle certain situations when it comes to emotions, expressing them, how to deal with them, how to cope with them, you know, how to, deal with our emotions as men, because we always are told, either directly or indirectly,
Suck it up.
be a man. But think about, you see little kids in the store. Why you crying? Shut up and crying. With your little girl? You say stuff like that to little boys. And so that right there already planting seeds in his head that, hey, if I cry, I'm acting like the opposite sex. I'm a little punk. If I cry, I'm not being a man.
Yep.
If I express myself, I'm not being a man. And then coupled with that, when we have relationships, with other men, and I talk about sexual, I'm not talking about that. You know, just in case y'all were.
Nobody thought that.
Nobody thought that. Keep it moving.
I don't know if I had to put a pause in there and everything. But anyway, when you have a relationship with other men, you know, for us to even express ourselves to each other, we feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? We can't sit down and have a conversation about how we feel because the person who's expressing themselves feels uncomfortable and not secure to have that conversation. The person who's receiving it feels uncomfortable because he feel like, you know, why he acting like that? She's supposed to be a man. That's not man behavior, you know. But who defines what manhood is?
That's a good point.
You know, where do we get our ideas, our philosophy, you know, our ethos, stuff about how to be a man? And where are we seeing manhood being portrayed in our life? You know, those things are factors in how we express ourselves as we become men. You know, so I think it's big how you tied those ideas and concepts in your book to that character. You know, now what made you even come to that conclusion when you were writing that? Because you know, most people don't even talk about, especially from a man point of view, emotions for men.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing with Ricky is that I've always seen these kind of things happening in my life, like all the time. Like I just seen so many men just sit around here that just, as usual, just trying to make some kind of an excuse or just always in some kind of pain. But then whenever you try to talk to them about it, they want to try and fight you because you already know, like they probably grew up in an environment where you just didn't talk about these things. Or you read the Bible, but like a lot of people don't actually know God that well or weren't even taught about God, so they really don't know what scripture to pick up. So that's a factor right there. But I would always see like the smoking and the drinking that relates to Ricky's behavior because of one of his buddies, Phil. Phil and him, they both grew up together, so they both grew up doing the same thing. And, you know, Ricky and Phil, not trying to, like, spoil the story, but Ricky and Phil, they definitely had one of those, like, I want to say arguments, to leave it like that. And it's a very life-changing argument because once you start realizing, Ricky started realizing he had to improve himself, right?
Right.
So since he had to improve himself, he started realizing I'm going to have to start leaving some things behind. And that's what I had to realize as a kid because I was one of those kind of people just going around here trying to pick fights with people because I didn't know how to express myself. My father wasn't in my life, and he would fly off the handle, and I just started. I've always been the kind of person that picks up on what everybody else is doing, and I always said, okay, this is something I shouldn't be doing because if I keep flying off the handle, I could possibly end up in jail, and I'm not trying to do all that.
That part.
True point.
Right.
No, I feel that.
I think too, man, you know, we as men need to reevaluate what manhood is.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
You know, because we are taught some things about what manhood is. We have our own ideas what manhood is, and then we have different depiction of manhood around us, and all those things are just flowing through our heads, especially as children, as we grow, as boys, as growing up, you know, but we never really come to a true conclusion what manhood is. We may think we do in our heads, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we don't already have a formed opinion what we think manhood is, but there's no, if you talk to one man and talk to another man and you ask them to write down a list, there's not going to be a matching list to say this right here definitively is manhood.
Yeah.
You know, so then having said that, can manhood have a solid or absolute definition? Is manhood fluent?
And I definitely believe that, like, manhood should definitely needs to be built on, like, the core morals and principles. Like, definitely don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal, but most importantly, you hold yourself to a great accountability, and most importantly, every single man needs to do this. Lead by example.
Okay.
I like that.
Like, that is one of the key factors I can figure out, because with these lists, you don't want to make them too long. But you definitely don't want to make them too long because then we just be here all damn day. And ain't nobody got time for all that. But I would think the broadest list would just be the things I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. So like just kind of painting in broad strokes. That's what manhood is in broad strokes, and then each individual. Oh, go ahead.
No. I'm kind of piggybacking off of you, man, because I think if you just paint manhood with just a general brush, because there's going to be things that I'm going to do different from you, and then Caleb might do something different. Right. So, but if we have like just a general outlier,
exactly.
And honestly, I think women should input on that outlier as well because.
But you have to look at it, and not to cut you off, you have to look at it like this too. This is my issue with women when it comes. When it comes to men,
I want a
because we depict a picture off of what a man is supposed to be, off of the men that are already around us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if a man is not present, what do we have to depict what a man is supposed to be? Hence why a lot of people in this generation are dating these no good bums, going from baby daddy, because unfortunately in the black community, most fathers are not in the household. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, I was granted, the privilege. My dad was there. We had our issues. We had different things that we went through.
Hey, but he was there.
I could always, even if I didn't talk to him for months at a time. If I needed something, I could call him. And he showed me how to be, deciding what, whichever way I decided to float my boat that week. He showed me what I needed to know to be as successful as a woman from a man's point of view, and how to cater myself and what I'm supposed to look for. And then I had men around me that were doing the same thing. What do you think, Caleb, it would take for this generation in 2021 to get this next generation that's coming up of men to be better than what we all saw growing up and what's present in the world now today?
Ass whoopings.
Man, one of the things that just screams in my mind is turn off that damn television and get off of social media. Because those are just giving you the wrong depictions of what manhood is supposed to be.
Unless
I am so tired of just.
Yeah.
So that's the exception. Well, like it's just one of those things where like everybody is always looking for like status and materialism and all these other things, and they're living in a fake life and they don't know what it's like to actually just be a man or a woman, because you just need to sit down and learn how to forgive those people that hurt you. Because this is where all this like pain and all of this animosity for all these people comes from. They all come from hurt. Like the bums or the alcoholics, the druggies, all that stuff, it all comes from some kind of personal hurt. And like I said, the main theme I always talk about is just personal accountability. Like you're going to have to sit down and you're going to have to forgive. Like that's just it. And I know there's people that believe in God and don't believe in God. I'm not trying to convert nobody, but like forgiveness is a key factor in anything in life. Like even with business, like there's times where, there's people that do you dirty, but trying to get back at them, and then you sue them and somebody end up dead because you just couldn't forgive. Like created all this messiness, and now your brand went crazy, and now people don't want to work with you, and you end up bankrupt.
That part.
What's
things like that.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you made something come to my mind when you talk about forgiveness, because I think the common misconception about forgiveness is that people don't realize the forgiveness
is for yourself.
It's not for the offender.
Yep.
It's for the offended.
Yep.
And people always think, I ain't about to forgive them. But don't realize that it's not about them. Forgiveness for the offended.
I think you better let it go.
Let it go. Boom, boom.
Another light TKO.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
This is why we can't take him. No.
Can't take my ass nowhere.
And when you hold on to that, you know what I'm saying? You start becoming sick.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? You start experiencing things in your body that you think, is caused by an outside force.
I mean, what's crazy?
But it's really an inside force.
You know what's crazy, man, to piggyback off you?
Go ahead.
A lot of people don't understand.
I got a line back.
Anyway.
Pause.
Pause on that. A lot of people don't understand how much bad energy literally affects your health.
Yep.
and holding on to negativity, holding on to shit that's not bringing peace and love and prosperity to yourself is literally causing people to get sick.
Right, right.
And I don't think people really realize that, how much like your body is all connected, and then when your mental is all fucked up, something else is about to get fucked up.
Yep.
Something else is about to happen after that.
Right.
And then something else, and then next thing you know, you laid up in the hospital with this problem, this problem, this problem, and this problem. And you can alleviate majority of that by letting go of just negative shit that's not conducive to your overall energy and is not adding nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't get nothing for being, so toxic mentally. Like you don't. What do you gain?
Nothing at all.
I mean,
That's why you got so many of these people. They be on all these pills and all that stuff. And just to like take you back over what you said, I remember one of my favorite like educational films was like, I'm low key a nerd, just low key, not high key. Low key, just a nerd.
Low key.
And like low key, like anime and like nerdy books and stuff like that. But the Count of Monte Cristo just comes to mind. Like I remember Edmond Dantes, as soon as he escaped the Shadow Deep, because a couple people, they set him up. So he ended up in the Shadow Deep for a couple years, and as soon as he escaped, he killed all the people that actually did him wrong, right? But then it was the priest. It was the priest in the jail that just said, look, man, I gave you this knowledge. I gave you fighting skills only to defend yourself if anyone tried to hurt you. But, like, just take your fortune, live your life, and just be fine. He kept on telling people, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then he's just sitting there on the top of the hill. You're just like, man, the priest was right. Because if you don't forgive people, you hold on to all this pain, and, like, you didn't gain nothing out of it. You're still miserable.
Right.
Like, just take your beautiful lady, take your kid, and just enjoy your life, as everyone was trying to say. But he had to learn the hard way.
I'm just going to say that you are not just a low-key nerd. You're just a nerd. It's okay.
It's
Embrace it.
Embrace your nerdiness, brother. It's all right.
That's good, man. That's good, because a mindset is key.
Yeah, very much so.
Yo,
The scripture says, let this mind be in you, which also is in Christ Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Then he said, he made himself of no reputation. You know what I'm saying? Then it goes on and said, but he humbled himself.
Yep, that part. That's the part that a lot of people forget.
Not only did he so I think what's key to that is because think about the things that the scripture talks about, the things that Christ did.
Yeah.
Yo.
But that scripture says he made himself of no reputation. It means he ain't have to brag about what he did. He let his works speak for him.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how he humbled himself. And I think as a man, you know what I'm saying, we look for this self-gratification. We look for people to pump us up. We look for people to, validate us, when we should make ourselves with no reputation and humble ourselves. Because what you do will speak volume.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? And what you do will speak volume. You can say all you want out your mouth, but people are watching what you do.
Yeah.
And what you do sometimes speaking louder than what you say.
That's it.
Wow. Where the organs at? Where the organs at?
Just
with
get
that,
on down, just hit me out.
With that right there, we're going to take another commercial break and let that last thought from Preacher Mel
Let it marinate.
digest and marinate. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tell you we need some organs.
Looking for a great home cooked meal and you don't have time to prepare it? Well, your solution is here. Mad Mac Catering. The food is made with love and with a touch of soul. Contact us at 704-516-4334 or on Twitter at SmadMac or the website www.madmax.net. That's www.madmacs.net.
Hey.
And we are back.
We back.
Y'all already know. Y'all feeling the commercials in season 2?
I know.
If y'all didn't know who the CEO and owner of Mad Max is, it's that guy right there. It's Lamar.
If you're in the Triangle area, holler at your
him.
boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but don't try to act like. But don't try to act like all modest over here, Miss Millie J. Sweet Treats over
I
here.
wasn't, but that was your time to shine. That was your commercial. Mine was not up there right at that moment, so But we are still here talking with Caleb. It has been amazing so far.
Philosopher.
Listen,
All right.
Yeah, that boy philosophical
You
tonight.
know, he tried to say he wasn't a geek, but being a geek is a good thing. A geek or a nerd.
Hey, but you know what? It's okay being a nerd because I have my moments. You know,
too.
me and Caleb got a
definitely have my
shared nerdness. Like we both
Anime.
love. Well,
I like anime.
I don't mind anime, but I like wrestling. I like professional
yeah.
wrestling.
Wrestling,
Yeah,
definitely.
y'all do like
Shout out Bianca
Definitely.
Shout out Bianca Belair, first black
Yep.
woman to win the Royal Rumble. Holla
All
at your
right.
girl.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'll let you girl.
Holla at your girl. You know, the EST, the WWE
I'm glad that y'all
Taking over.
taking over.
That's not
So
something I
hey,
know.
it's okay with being, you know, I guess quote unquote nerdish. I don't care. I like my wrestling.
Right.
I liked it as a kid. You know, I grew up watching
Oh, yeah.
wrestling, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for me to let that go. I mean,
Yeah, I cannot let that go at all. I almost would get in trouble sometimes, especially with DX. DX got me a lunch detention, so I was like, I need to chill.
hey, when you see hit that cross and be like, suck it.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
everybody used to do that. I hated
Principal would be
that.
like, whoa, you need to, what was that, young man? What was that?
What did you say?
What did you put on the computer?
Now, I did want to talk briefly, and I think Jamila definitely find love into this. Your Beats by K. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your journey with being vegan, and you've been highlighting the last couple of days. You've been highlighting some different celebrities such as Erica Badu, Jermaine
Yep.
Dupri, Elise. I can't think of her other name. But you've highlighted them and being vegan. What was your decision to become vegan, and what has your process been like?
Shit, if any woman shaped like Erica Badu, y'all need to be vegan all the time.
Sorry, I'm not going that route.
So yeah, like when it came to like veganism, it was one of those things for me where I was always just like, man, I just cannot stand the fact that I always feel so sluggish and like tired and just lazy. And I remember it was a professional wrestler named Austin Aries. He even said it in the book when he was talking about it, like, you're not going to become vegan overnight after you read this book, but the gears are going to start turning in your head. And I was like, yep, he got me. He was one of the people that actually got me. And it was him, the likes of Jermaine Dupri, when I watched, like, What the Health, But It's Vegan.
Right.
And it was this I think it was called Soul Shack. Yeah, it was now how, like, soul food has a very, like, detrimental effect to it. So I started becoming, like, very health conscious. And I was just like, man, I cannot be sitting around here eating meat and dairy, but I don't want to be like one of those kind of like preachy vegans that's always going around and like trying to ridicule people. And I'm like, no, I'm not like that. Like, I'm vegan. Like, you should definitely be eating more fruits and vegetables into your diet, but like take it one day at a time. So I became vegan, like, I want to say a year ago, and I was vegetarian 2 years ago, and now I've been healthy at 160 right now, 5'7", pretty good weight. Lift weights like, I want to say 3 days a week, and I just feel a lot more better, a lot more clear-headed mentally and physically, and everything feels a lot better for me. So I'm very happy with this experience.
Yeah, that's what's up, because I'm still struggling with that shit. You know?
Mine's not a struggle. I gladly will continue eating meat. Sorry.
Well, it's because I'm still trying to open up my mind because I have other reasons why I need to eat healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I got
You got chat.
yeah, I got chitlins. So and they young. So I'm trying to make sure I'm here for a long time, and I'm trying to be a grandpappy. You feel me? You know,
We
I'm-
gonna keep
Yo.
you.
We don't mind having you around too.
Yeah, and the weed to keep you here. You'll be all right.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I do that for my cataracts and shit, you know. I do that for my mental health, you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yo.
So,
You gotta be physically and mentally healthy.
well, yeah, but you know, eventually I don't know if I'll go full veganism, but at least I need to incorporate more fruits and vegetables to my diet. I've been
That's
so
definitely
terrible with
key.
that. So
I already incorporate more of that. I think it's definitely a mental thing.
It is.
For some people, and you know, when you've been eating meat all your life.
Yeah.
Pause.
I wasn't gonna let that one go.
Nope.
Say no.
Nope.
actually, you don't have to say pause.
I do.
Yeah, you
Yes.
don't have to say pause.
I do because I don't need y'all having any jokes.
No,
I need
don't
to
say
pause.
y'all.
Yeah, but you don't have to
Him.
say pause. It's okay
Him.
if you eat meat.
Him.
It's all right.
Keep
Cool.
it moving.
Anyway,
Keep it moving for Mel. Take this
that's
shit
why,
somewhere
and that's
else.
why I say pause.
I was just saying, but go ahead.
Anywho, I even forgot my whole train of thought. Moving on to the next topic.
A little sausage in your diet. Go ahead.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my gosh! Look, I got you,
Thank you. Please.
Caleb. So the midweek madness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta talk
Oh,
about that
yeah.
because you literally highlight just clips that come on social media, and
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody has seen them, but just to point it out, it literally is. I'm trying to find the right way to word this because it's not really showing us and our people in a good light. But
Right.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb, I think you're using those clips as an example of what we need to improve at. Am I right? in
Yep,
saying
that's exactly it. Yep, that's the reason why it's called the midweek madness. I focus really on everybody, but like, here's one thing about us as a people. Like, there are areas where we could do better. Like, that doesn't mean that we're not great people. It's just there's some things. It's just like they're just not okay. Like, I remember I saw this one video, man, and this grown ass man, and I'm still pissed at YouTube because there was this one video I showed. This grown ass man was trying to discipline his daughter, and he just got really angry, so he sat on top of her.
Oh wow.
Yes, and I was like, I gotta cover this. YouTube took it down.
Wow.
I was like, y'all mother, can't stand y'all. They've been messing with my stuff for just so long. It's like, I don't put everything I need to put in here. Y'all gonna take it down. But then we have a bunch of people shaking their butt, shaking their dick, doing a bunch of nasty stuff on here on YouTube. And you gonna take my stuff down as an educational video. I'm telling people what not to do to save them so they don't act stupid. That's really it. But no, YouTube be hating.
YouTube be hating
my ass.
But you bring up such a good point, and why, and it kind of ties back into something you said earlier of why we need to be logging off of social media a little bit more, because you do have those things, especially in the Black community. You've got the hood fighting videos. You got the girls twerking. You've got, pretty much pornography all over Facebook now. It's not even censored anymore. Versus, what the correct role model for men and women are to look for. What is something that when you were growing up, something that was what pushed you to be who you are, even though you went through what you had to go through? What was, or who was a person that inspired you to be who you are, whether it be in Black history or just inside your family history itself?
Just like history itself. I mean, I remember this was the day I noticed that color really doesn't matter at all. When I had my track coach was an old white man named Mr. Cross. He was just a shining example of just a confident old man who just did his thing. He was kind to people. He wasn't rude to nobody. But like, if you disrespected him, he checked you. But that was only because you disrespected him.
Right.
And I remember he was just one of these kind of guys who will always push you to be better. He was the kind of person that always said, you have to believe in yourself. Because I remember I was trying to throw discus, and I sucked at it at first. I was awful. And I was like, Cross, I can't throw discus. It's like, yes, you can, Caleb. You can throw the discus. And I'm like, Cross, you crazy. I can't throw discus. And he said, meet me after school at the discus arena. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll meet this crazy old man at the discus arena. Because he tried like 10 times to get me to do track and field. And like, this was just not really the greatest time for me. I was like 14 years old in 9th grade. And I believe my grandmother had passed away. So I was just not really feeling anything. But I wanted to do something because I was gaining weight. I was like 189 at the time. And when I did track and field, I obviously slimmed down because I was throwing and I was running at the same time. So I remember he stuck with me, and we kept throwing discus over and over again. He never judged, ridiculed, or shamed me for not throwing it far. He always encouraged me to keep throwing it. And I remember this dude was just so like crazy at times. I mean, he passed away a couple of years ago, so God rest his soul. But I remember he would stand out all out into the field, and he would almost like have to duck sometimes. Like, why is he standing there? Like, can he just move? So he would stand out there. He would just keep backing up. Like, they're going to throw it over here. And lo and behold, I actually made conference my junior senior year
Oh wow.
because of him.
Look there.
I was like, wow, this dude is crazy, but what he did work.
Not crazy. But that's what it
You
takes
know?
sometimes. We need that kind of person in our lives
Need a
to
push.
to bring it out.
Right.
Like I've got these two because they push me and pull me and remind me of what I can do. So everybody needs those kind of people.
Hell, we need each other, goddamn.
This is very true. This is very,
Right,
very,
right.
very true. Now, I did want to talk a little bit more of the timeline and see where you're at from when you started, when you wrote your book, which was in 2003, correct?
Oh no, it was in 2020.
Okay, wait. So what was I reading? Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I always
Anyway.
forget to keep telling people this. Like August 15, 2003 is like the first installment of Suffering in Silence. But like I always say, Suffering in Silence, August 15, 2003.
Okay,
So
so I know it
oftentimes
wasn't
get
crazy.
tongue tied.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't crazy. I was like, I know when I did my research, I saw that date. I know Jesus.
Yep.
And that works fine. So, and even if we go from the first installment in 2003 to when you started the blog in what 2006, 2016, one of the two. I know it has a 6.
That was like 2016 or 17, around that time. Yep.
Knew it had a 6 in there. I knew it was 6 somewhere. To now, we're in the beginning of 2021. So, where are you now? Is pretty much the question I'm asking. Where are you now from when you started with the first installment of the book to the Caleb now? What is the difference?
I got some more followers. I got some people that, low key hating on me, but it's all good.
We like haters.
I had to check this one dude trying to come in my comment section trying to be a troll, and I was like, you know what? Listen up. You ain't got to follow the page if you don't want to.
That
He
part.
kept trolling. So I was like, you know what? We just going to put you on the block list because you acting like a whiny boy. All right? I'm not about to do all that. That's too much. I'm not about to be playing with your game. I think he was sent from Satan. Satan be gone. We don't want to be doing all that. But it has been, for the most part, it's been pretty positive. Like, I've had a lot more viewers, a lot more followers. I'm doing more IG live videos. I've been slacking a little. I'm gonna have to get on my grind because, there's that part of me that wants to, get in there and come on, Caleb, get in there. And then the introvert side be like, nah, chill, we're gonna write. So it's like that little tug of war with me. But I'm definitely gonna be doing some more IG live videos. Just keep posting on Monday for Unpopular Opinions. Basically, just keep plugging the blogs, the books, everything. And really just keep talking about what I'm talking about because I'm reaching some people. I'm definitely reaching the follower count.
Right.
Is reaching up. Comment section is going up. So I'm definitely just going to have to keep pushing because Rome wasn't built in a day, and I got to continue to weather the storm.
Hey, man, brother, just keep pushing.
Right.
Like keep your blog, keep writing, because like even if you're not getting the comments or the views, I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed, and I always catch a feed from you, Caleb. And whether people want to believe it or not, even if you ain't got the viewership, somebody sees that, and that helps somebody.
Right.
So I just want to keep encouraging you to keep doing it, brother, because at some point somebody is going to need to hear what you say one day. And you might save a life. You might turn somebody around that was heading to a real fucked up direction. So, bro, keep doing what you do.
Now who preaching?
Right. Who's preaching now?
No, I'm just saying because I'm just saying because like I gotta keep encouraging our brother over here because it's like there's times where we're like we're big on talking about mental health.
Right.
Caleb talks about things that help men, especially men that look like us, to stop being scared about trying to find help with mental health. So, I mean, you'll be surprised on who you're going to help one day, brother. I'm telling you.
Listen, I love it. I love everything that you're doing. Again, if there's anything that we can do to continue to support you, let us know. But keep being who you are.
Right.
The difference that it's making for black men, and not even black men, just people in general is very big in this day and time, especially when it comes to mental with the pandemic that we are still going through. It challenges a lot of people's mental. So your blogs, your midweek madness, all of that is super, super important to the community itself. Like I'm super proud of you. You know, you like my brother. I got you.
Yeah, before we let you go, I just wanted to touch a little bit about authors. You know, I know you like Henry David Thoreau.
Yep.
And so what is it about Thoreau that attracts you to him? What makes you really like his writings and the stuff that he does?
I think it's just because he's just like so like simplistic, but he stands up for what he believes in. I remember I was reading A Mind with Wings, and I think it was about a couple years ago, and the author was talking about how Thoreau was a quiet man. So obviously, like, I'm still quiet. You know, people think that, like, this is the one thing I can't stand when people always say, like, quiet and shy are two different things. Like, there's people who are quiet, but, like, once they talk, they can talk. And the shy people just go, just make these weird noises and stuff. I'm like, man, speak up. Just say what you got to say.
He said
My friend be doing all that. But anyway, like, Henry David Thoreau had, like, this simplistic way of thinking about things. And most importantly, he always stood up for what he believed in. He was a slave abolitionist. So he was always for our people. And he never liked any of this stuff going on. That's why he didn't pay taxes. And that's the reason why he moved out to the woods, because he couldn't identify what everything was going on, because he was never a follower. And I remember Henry David Thoreau was somebody that I gravitated towards when I was like, I think 23 or 24 in college. And I was like, you know what? All these other people that we've been talking about, they cool, but he's really cool. So after that, I was like, yo, this is my dude.
I like that. You know, I think, you know, a lot of people, when they look at authors and stuff like that, and all the famous authors, I think a lot of people don't really dig deep into what writers are out there. So let me give you examples. Like Martin Luther King. A lot of people don't realize that he wrote a lot of books. You know, Mark Twain. A lot of people always just go to Huckleberry Finn, you know, the ones that surface stuff. But Mark Twain also wrote a lot of plays. Mark Twain has a lot of famous quotes. He got one quote, I think, that says, God created war so we could discover geography. You know what I'm saying? It's something simple, but very profound. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of writers out there that, you know, I try to get people to say, if you're going to listen to writers or authors and stuff like that, really discover them. Don't go to the surface stuff. Don't go to the quote-unquote commercial stuff, but really discover them, because there's so much deep stuff in writing. By nature, I'm attracted to psychology, philosophy, and stuff like that. So when I see certain things like that, you know, that kind of sparks my my mental.
There's a lot of things that spark your mental.
But man, it was great having you, man. We enjoyed you, man. I love what you're doing, man. So just keep it moving, man. Keep it going. Keep on encouraging people, man. You know, because there's so many people out there that needs to hear what you're doing.
Yeah. A lot of people. Go ahead and plug one more time where they can find all of your information, where they can find your blog, your Instagram. Plug away, sir.
All right, so everything can all be found on my link tree. Right now, I'm still on a budget, but I'm going to be stepping up in the world very, very soon.
I know that's
But
right.
you can find me all on Linktree at CHARR8. My Facebook is there, Caleb Harris. IG, Caleb Hates Cake. Yes, I hate cake. Don't get me no cake, or we just gonna get blocked. Just kidding. You can also just like shoot me an email at caleb21294@AOL.com, and my blog, Unpopular Opinions. Subscribe to that for the newsletter and get everything there. Also, buy all the books on Caleb Harris on Amazon.com. Ooh,
Nice.
that was a lot.
That's a lot. And happy early birthday to you. We know your birthday is this month, so we wish you many, many more.
Right.
Thank you so much, Caleb. We will definitely be in touch. You guys make sure to go over and spam Caleb's pages, every last one of them. If you miss them, they will be listed below. Or you can follow him on our page, because he is our friend on all of our pages.
Right.
Just search him by Caleb Harris. Thank you again, Caleb. We're going to let you go.
Yo.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, love.
All right, thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, my
Yeah.
brother.
Man, And that's another great show in the bag. It was wonderful talking with Caleb. This one right here, if you have a brother, a son, an uncle, a cousin, a neighbor that's a boy,
Go get the book.
go get the book, support, read the book, make it a family thing. Read it together. Women, we need to read it as well to know what some of our men are suffering in silence about so we can be support systems the way that we were created to be.
Well, damn. Well, say it then, sister.
I just felt like it needed to be said. I just felt like... But until next time, we are in the 28 days of Black history, Black excellence, everything that's bliggity, bliggity, black, baby.
Mama say, mama say, mama
There you go.
Mama say,
Hey.
mama say, mama say.
Hey.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black,
Listen,
y'all.
it's only
Bliggity, biggity,
going
biggity, biggity, biggity,
to
black,
get
y'all.
better. Only going to get better. We have so much more in store. Make sure you are tuning in every day this month. That means tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be another episode that drops the next day, the same time. Another episode to drop. We are doing this all month long.
Sábado, domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves.
When did you become bilingual?
Hey, I had me a little Ecuadorian chick. She used to do
All
some
right.
things.
And if you have any questions, you can check out
Change for a little change.
you can check out the website www.ioftenwonder.com. You'll find all the information there. Until next time, I'm your girl Black Barbara Walters,
Welcome, Mar.
and of course,
It's that nigga.
until next time, we love you guys. Peace.